For this lesson, we are going to be solving multi-step inequalities. We will follow the exact same steps for solving equations, except the very, very last step. If we multiply or divide by a negative number, we will flip the sign. So here's our first problem. 6x plus 2 plus 6x is less than 14. I see that I can simplify by putting my x's together because they're on the same side of the inequality. So this is 12x plus 2 is less than 14. In order to move the numbers together, I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides of the inequality. And I end up with 12x is less than 14 minus 2 is 12. We know we have to get the variable by itself, so we're finally dividing by 12. So x is going to be less than 1. For the second problem, we have y minus 6 is less than or equal to 15 plus 8a. And I meant to make that a y because the variables all must be the same. So that is a y. We're going to start, and I always like to have my variables on the left side so it helps with graphing it. So I'm going to subtract my 8y, moving it to the other side. And when I do this, I have 1 minus 8y, which is a negative 7y minus 6 is less than or equal to 15. Now we know we have to get the numbers together. Since it subtracts 6, I'm adding 6. There's my pair of opposites. The 6 cancels out, and I have negative 7y is less than or equal to 15 plus 6 is 21. My final step, I see I am going to divide by a negative number. So I have a negative 7 and a negative 7. When I divide by that negative number, I am going to flip my sign before I even write anything, and I get y is greater than or equal to a negative 3. 21 divided by negative 7 is a negative 3. And here is your solution. Okay, so let's look at the third problem. Notice my x were on the left side, and my y is on both sides there. I moved it to the left. When you're solving something like this, it's going to be harder to graph if your variable is not on the left. So what I do right away is I just take everything that is here and I write it down first. And I take now the 9 and I put it on this side. And you can see how my greater than symbol opens up to the 9. So I have to flip my sign. So in order to have my variable on the left when it's written that way, I go ahead and I just rewrite it so that it's in opposite order. And you can see my 9 is opened up. The greater than sign opens up to the 9, and here my less than sign, it opens up to the 9. So I know that it's the identical situation. So I'm going to put the numbers together, and I have a negative 2m, and a 2 minus 3 is negative 1 is less than or equal to 9. So we always add or subtract for our next part. So I'm going to add 1 to both sides, and I end up with a negative 2m is less than or equal to 10. Last step, I'm going to be dividing by a negative 2. Did you hear me say dividing by a negative 2? Before I do anything, I flip my sign, and m is greater than or equal to 10 divided by negative 2 is a negative 5. And there is my solution. If this video was helpful to you today, please add a like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe for more Math with Marcia. See you again soon.